Hi guys, thanks so much for coming today. We thought we'd just crack into it, and so we're going to all present up here. We've got a couple of wee videos that we want to show you as well. My name's Cassandra, I'm the Managing Director of Trinity Employment Services. This is Rika, she's our Agricultural Recruitment Manager, and she handles all of our offshore work, so she'll do quite a bit of chatting today, much to her delight. And this is Jamie, one of our very talented licensed immigration advisors. So, without further ado, I'll let Rika take it away. Or do you want me to do that?
So here's some of our team, Cassandra at the top, and we've got Nils, who's not here today. He's based out of Timaru. He's our General Manager and also in LIA. We've got Bruna next to him, who's our Marketing Manager. She's sitting right there. We've got Andrew in the back there. He's our Sales Manager. And Michael, also based in Timaru. He's our PA and Health and Safety Officer. Here's the Agri team, so we've got Brock and Jeannie, both our Agri consultants, recruiters, and our general recruitment team and immigration team. So maybe at the top left, she is based out of Timaru. Then Jack, he is in Christchurch. Then there's Kami, our immigration manager, who's here today, and Jamie up the front. Awesome, so we are just getting ready to recruit again from offshore. Obviously with COVID, the last 2 years we haven't been able to bring anyone into the country. So we're just getting ready to recruit from all over the world. So we've actually got a partnership in the Philippines with a company called Omenful. So they're a foreign placement agency. So with the Philippines, there's obviously quite a bit of red tape where you have to use one of these agencies. And the Filipinos also have to have a exit visa, where they have to stay in the country for 30 days before they can leave. Any of our Filipino workers come with 2 years of DEER experience outside of the Philippines, so either in Japan or Saudi Arabia. Cass, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, so I've done recruitment for a number of years for offshores for dairy farms. So what we'll look at is not only the amount of years that they've been doing dairy farming work at one of these big milking parlours, either in Saudi or Japan, but we'll also look at what parts of the plant that they've been working in. So it's not like dairy farming here in New Zealand, where in your day-to-day you're going to be working with the cows, you're going to be in the shed milking, you're also going to be doing animal health and pasture management. What these guys do day in and day out is they work in one particular facet of that. So they might just literally swing cups all day, or they will work with calves or whatever it is, but they're doing that one thing for a year. So what we'll look at is what different things they've done during their contract at one of these milking parlours, and then make sure that it fits with your farm and your needs. You might need somebody that's really good at feeding out and tractor work, so we would look for somebody that's done a fair bit of that. You might have a fantastic team that's great in the shed, but no one that's really equipped to do the animal health stuff, so that's where we can find someone that does that too. Ideally, these guys will have done at least two of these, worked in at least two of these departments. Sometimes they've done all of them, which is great, but yeah, we obviously would make sure when we're doing that recruitment process that we choose the right person for your farm based on your needs.
Awesome. And in addition to the Philippines, we've been inundated in the last 2 years with people wanting to come work in the New Zealand dairy industry. So on the daily we receive CVs from people with dairy experience overseas. So most of these are from Sri Lanka, Indonesia, Colombia, Argentina, India and Brazil. And we've actually been over to Indonesia and had the opportunity to interview some of these people in person. So following this is a wee video from some candidates from overseas who are very keen to come and work in the New Zealand dairy industry.
Hi, I am Joaquin. I live in Argentina. I have 2 years experience in dairy industry. I would like to have the opportunity to come work in New Zealand in the dairy industry.
Hello, I am Mark Anthony Valles from Zambales, Philippines. I have a 6 years experience in Nadic company in Saudi Arabia. I have a 3 kind of experience of dairy department. I am pivot operator, tractor operator, milker operator. If I would love the opportunity to join your company in New Zealand. I share my skill experience in the dairy industries.
Hi, I'm Maria Jesusa Fe Echanis. I live in Philippines. I have 3 years experience of dairy farming in Japan. I would like to take this opportunity to work with you. Keen and willing to learn more. Thanks.
Hello, I am Mateo Gonzalez. I am from Argentina. I have 2 years of dairy experience. I will love the opportunity to come to work to New Zealand in the dairy industry.
Hi, I'm Noel. I live in Java, Indonesia. I was working as a dairy farmer for 2 years. Please let me work at your dairy farm to New Zealand. Thank you.
My name is Chandra Diputra. You can call me Chandra. I live in Bogor, west of Java, Indonesia. I'm a person who work hard. I'm a fast learning, and I can work with the team. So I hope I can working to success your farm with my responsibility. Thank you for attention.
Hi, I am Samir Dushmankar. I am from Sri Lanka, but currently I am living in Saudi Arabia. I have around 2.5 years experience, which includes milking, tractor driving, animal health. I would love the opportunity to work in New Zealand in dairy industry because it's my life only dream. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Irfan. I live in Batam, Indonesia. I have more than 2 years of dairy experience. I would love the opportunity to come work in New Zealand in dairy industry. Thank you.
Awesome. So we carry on to how it all's going to work. So Jamie. First of all, you'll just get in contact with either the agricultural team or the immigration team, and we'll be able to formulate a plan and advise you specifically for your needs. We have a full team of specialised professionals who'll be able to handle the process from start to finish. So the whole process runs between the immigration admin side and the recruitment side. So the first step is to get accredited. You're going to need to get accredited whether you want to hire offshore, whether you want to hire a migrant onshore, or whether you just need to renew a visa. It's very important from July, if you do have migrant workers, that you are accredited. So to get accredited, it's simply a questionnaire which we'll send out to you. They're basically looking at your finances and your compliance and just making sure that you're able to take on workers, so you're in a good financial standing and you don't have any compliance issues. And if you've been in business for over a year, it's quite simple and it takes 10 working days to go through. There is quite a big misconception that the accreditation will be like the old accreditation process, which was difficult and there were a lot of hoops to jump through. This isn't the case. Immigration is wanting all businesses who employ migrants to be accredited, so it is quite a simple process. Yeah. So, do you want to do this part? So obviously while Jamie's busy doing your accreditation, our recruitment team will be going through possible candidates for you, and they will send you some CVs as well as interview videos that we've been recording. And you get then the choice of which candidate you want to select, whether it's from the Philippines, Indonesia, or anywhere around the world. So once you've become accredited, the next step is the labour market check. So this is advertising the role to make sure that there are no New Zealand citizens or residents available for that role. Given how the dairy industry seems to have been over the past 2 years, I think it's pretty safe to say that there is a shortage, and we will be able to show that through the advertising. Advertising is not needed for green list roles, so the only roles in the dairy industry which are green list is a farm manager, assistant farm manager, and a herd manager, so we don't need to advertise for those 3. Once we've done the labour market check, we use the results from that to apply for the job check, which is the second stage with Immigration New Zealand. The job check, as well as the labour market check, they'll also be looking at your employment agreement just to make sure that everything is up to scratch there, and the job description as well. So the purpose of the job check is to make sure that the role actually has a genuine shortage of candidates in New Zealand, that the role is compliant, and that you're also paying market rate for this role. You'll get a token number once the job check has come through, and the migrant will use this later to apply for their visa. And then the migrant check. So this is the last stage. This is where they apply for their visa. So they'll take that token number and we'll apply on their behalf for their visa. They'll need to show that they've got good character, so that's a police check from all countries lived in for 12 months or more in the last 5 years. They'll need to do a medical, and they'll also need to show that their experience matches up with that on the ANSCO job description, but also on the advertising. So what you've advertised for needs to be, the migrant needs to meet that in this last stage.
Oh. Okay, so we also take care of pastoral care of the candidate, which means that once you've selected the person that you want to hire and give a job to here in New Zealand, we make sure that all of the kind of pieces of the puzzle match together and that they're happy and settled here in New Zealand. So we book their flights, we go through, there's a settlement checklist, I believe, through Immigration New Zealand that we need to make sure that we've provided them with everything that they do need to be able to continue their life in New Zealand. And those are those employee modules as well. So I think there's some that the candidate will have to do, but there's also some that you, the employer, will have to do just to make sure that you've given all that information that is required. So yeah, so we book those flights and we arrange the transport from the airport to their new home, and then we just ensure that they have all of those essential things like their IRD number and their bank account, and that they're set up for success here in New Zealand. We also keep in touch with them during their employment and make sure that everything's running smoothly on farm, that everybody's happy, including you, the employer, and the candidate themselves. If there are any issues, we help you work through them, and just make sure that it is nice and smooth sailing for everybody. So, yeah.
Okay, so this is the responsibilities as an employer of migrants. So these are, the first part is the costs that with the new immigration policy you do need to take on as an employer, and you can't pass these on to employees. So that's the advertising or recruitment costs. Other associated costs such as immigration advisor costs related to employer applications, compulsory training and induction costs, equipment required to safely undertake work, branded uniforms, trade testing, tools where the employer retains ownership, and you'll be required to cover flight costs for any candidate from the Philippines. That's not applicable worldwide. That's a Filipino government rule rather than a New Zealand government rule. And this is the timeline. So the accreditation, they're saying, will take 10 working days. So far it's been a little bit less than that, but I think it hasn't really picked up yet. The job check, 10 working days. The migrant check will take 20 working days. And the exit visa from the Philippines is 30 working days.
Yep. So ideally, we would have from client engagement with Trinity, we would have someone on ground within 2 months from around the world and about 3 months from the Philippines.
Does anyone have any questions that they wanted to ask us while we're here?
How long does the accreditation last for?
It's 12 months initially for the first year, and then it will be 24 months every renewal after that. If you do get accredited before, or we're coming up to the 4th of July anyway, but if you were to get accredited before then, they would take in the 12 months from the 4th of July, so it would carry you back through.
So it wouldn't, in our case, we're probably not looking to take anybody on for the next, 12 months plus. It wouldn't be much point accredited before then, would it?
No, not until you're either needing to renew a visa or you're getting someone from offshore.
So that's quite an important point really, is that it's not just when you're hiring new migrants, it's also if one of your migrant staff on your farm currently has a visa that's up for renewal, then you have to be accredited to get them their new visa, because their new visa would come in under this new system as well.
Yeah, or if you're to get someone from another farm and they're on a work visa, you need to get accredited, but it is quite a quick process, the 10 working days, so
Yeah, so
it is something, yeah.
You wouldn't do it until you're ready to do it.
No.
No.
Yeah.
No. Definitely think it pays to just wait until you're in a situation where you are needing to be accredited. Yeah. Cool. Any other questions at all? No? Well, that was really easy. Well, if anyone does actually have any further questions, I'm pretty sure you've got our details. If not, there's some flyers and cards and stuff around, so just grab one of those on the way out and get in touch and we'll be more than happy to help. Thanks everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.